Hi, welcome to Kirkwood's Club Corner, a podcast where we dive deeper into clubs and organizations here on campus. I'm your host, Danielle, and joining me today is Liam Halawith from the Communiqué, which is Kirkwood's student newspaper. Thanks for joining me today, Liam.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So, starting off, why did you choose Kirkwood?
I am from a small town in Mount Pleasant, Iowa, southeast Iowa. So there was a couple of options I had. I thought about going to a four-year university, but I figured just due to cost and lower class sizes and having a little easier start to college, it'd probably be better to go to a two-year university like Kirkwood. And I chose Kirkwood specifically because of the good journalism program here.
Were you involved in a school newspaper, a yearbook when you were in high school?
Yes, I was actually involved in all three of my high school's journalism organizations, and led all of them at one point. So we had the Maroon Echoes, which was my high school newspaper. I was managing editor for 2 years, my junior and senior year. And then there was the high school yearbook, the Target. I was also the managing editor for 2 years, and I was the salesperson, the business manager for a year, my sophomore year of high school.
Wow.
Yes. And then third club, video team, which is like a photo and video videography club where we take photo and video of school events. I was the leader for my senior year.
That's really awesome. Mm-hmm. You were very busy, I'm sure.
Yes, very, very busy.
So then what is your role in the Communiqué?
This semester, I am the managing editor of the Communique. Last semester, I was just the copy editor and feature editor. But this semester, I am taking the reins.
Nice. Promotion.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is the hardest part about being managing editor?
I'd have to say probably deadlines. I think that's the hardest part about any job, but managing editor, it's your responsibility to get everybody in on deadline and make sure that deadlines are met, and so we don't fall behind. And I guess it's just probably reminding people that stories are due and we have to have them in at a certain time so that we can get the paper out on a timely manner.
How do you think your experience as copy editor prepared you for your current role as editing manager?
Well, so copy editor, I had a lot of responsibilities. Main one was editing the copy or the writing for the newspaper. And I think just having that hands-on experience with everybody's articles and kind of the content of the newspaper helped a lot with getting ready for managing editor. Another part was I was also feature editor, so I had that page editor position. So I was there in the trenches with writers, getting them ready and getting layout ready, and that kind of just brought me around the whole experience for the Communique, and I kind of just helped out a lot with managing it too last semester.
So yeah, you've been really involved then from the start.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
How might somebody get involved in the Communique?
So there's a couple ways they could do it. So first, they can stop by the Communique office, which is 1210 Lynn Hall, on Tuesdays or Thursdays from 11:15 to 12:15, which is when we're having our meetings, and you can come by and just say hi and say you were interested in the Communique. We're always welcome to have you, and we'll always love people stopping by. Another way is they can contact our advisor, Sarah Mangold, at sarah.mangold@kirkwood.edu. Or you could stop by her office too. She's in there every once in a while. And that's pretty much all the ways you can join the Communique.
How many members do you think you have right now?
Probably around 15. We're high up there in numbers this semester. A lot of graphic artists, a lot of photographers. We're always willing to have more. We love a nice big staff. So especially since last semester, we only had about 10. And only about 6 or 7 that were active all the time.
So you mentioned that you've got some graphics people and photographers. What are some other roles within the Communique?
There's lots of roles. So if you're looking just for something like you want to create content for the newspaper, there's 3 roles we have. We have a staff writer, graphic artist, and photographer. So they are pretty simple roles. You're writing, you're designing graphics, you're taking photos and writing cut lines, stuff like that. And then there are some more involved positions, like leadership positions. There's a range of them from outreach coordinator, where you recruit people, to page editor position, where you do layout for a page and you contact your writers for that page.
So what can someone expect when they walk into their first Communique meeting?
So we usually start our meetings, especially if there's a new person around, by going around and introducing ourselves by our title and what we do there. And for a normal Tuesday meeting, you can see us brainstorming the next issue of the Communiqué, and handing out story ideas for writers and photographers and graphic artists, and just a very collaborative community trying to figure out our next issue. And in between issues, or in between brainstorming sessions, we are catching up on writers and making sure they're doing their things.
How long does a meeting usually last?
Usually 30 to 45 minutes is probably the bulk of the meeting. Sometimes they can last longer. We never go past 12:10. So if you have like class at 12:20, you're always willing to come, and if you have to leave early, we always are willing to have that happen too.
It's nice that it's really flexible for students who have a busy schedule.
Yeah, well, actually, the big part of the Communique is you can be involved as little or as much as you want. You can write 10 articles if you want, and you can write 0 articles if you want, and just be there for the experience. It's all up to you.
That's really awesome. So do you have to be like a media major or an art major to be part of it?
Nope. We accept every major. We have nursing majors right now. Actually, our copy editor is a nursing major. So it doesn't matter. As long as you're willing to learn, we're willing to teach you and how to do it. So we're willing to take everyone.
What do you think are some skills that people learn from being in the Communique?
Well, there's the obvious journalism skills. You learn how to write a news article, to conduct an interview. You learn time management because you're going up against a deadline. We are a bi-weekly paper, meaning every other week. So, you get about a week to write your article. So you're put up against a pretty hefty deadline for some students. And, you're also learning, if you're in a leadership role, you get to learn leadership skills and teamwork. We're a very collaborative environment, and it's very similar to the newsrooms at the University of Iowa and other places. You get to learn how to work as a team, and it doesn't just apply to journalism; it applies to everyday life.
Yeah. So, okay, you mentioned that it is a bi-weekly newspaper. So when it's published, where can people find it?
Yeah, so we have newsstands all around campus, one in each building, usually on the main floors, in the common areas. And we have random copies distributed around the benches around campus, and we also have a newsstand right in front of our office.
So they're pretty easy to come by.
And you can also, sorry to interrupt, but
you're good.
Yeah, you can also visit us online at eaglevoice.com.
Awesome. I was just going to ask if there was an online version. So
yeah, so we can you can see all of our articles and pictures and graphics will be uploaded to our website. Yeah.
When they're printed on the paper, are they printed in color or black and white?
Yep. So we have 4 in color pages and 3 black and white.
Okay.
So usually we do the interior pages are black and white, but it all depends on what we're doing for that issue. But you can see your sports pictures. You're usually black and color, and same thing with the news.
What is your personal favorite project that you've done in the Communique?
So I really like doing like photo stories and like features. So I think one time I wrote an article about the windmill on campus, and I think I really enjoyed that because I was able to talk to Troy McQuillan, the Vice President of Facilities and Public Safety, about just how it impacts campus, and I think it's always interesting to learn new things, and I think that was probably one of my favorite articles to write.
There was one time that I was walking to my car, and I looked up, and there was a helicopter landing on the roof.
Yes.
And then like the next week, I was walking down the hall, and I saw the Communique, and of course there was a picture of the helicopter, and so I got to like read about why the helicopter was there. Did you have any part in like that story at all?
I didn't personally, but we had a writer, or a photographer type person, Deb McRoberts. She was walking to class and saw that too, and grabbed her camera and took a picture, and decided to write a little bit of a story about it. And Yeah, we love covering news events that happen on campus and just kind of giving students the inside scoop on what's happening on campus. We've done articles on everything from the construction in Iowa Hall to lactation rooms to even student stories and features about students.
So there's really like, you can basically write about anything.
Yeah, so we have five or six different sections of the newspaper where we have news, feature, opinion, art and life, and sports. So all the pages have different types of content on them, but we always find a space for everything from normal news writing to even we've done poetry and creative writing on our art and life page.
So there's things for everybody.
Yes. If you're interested in any part of it, you come by the Communiqué and we're sure to find a spot for you.
What's a skill that you've personally acquired that you didn't have before joining the Communique?
Well, as part of like a little bit of a graphic art thing and newspaper stuff, I've learned how to use InDesign, which is the main designer we use for the Communiqué. That's how we design our news pages, and that's just something useful for the news side of things. And if you're looking to go into a newspaper or do digital layout, something like that. I've learned about that, but I've also learned just about leading people and trying to have a team work towards a goal.
What are your plans for after Kirkwood? You're really involved in the journalism aspect of things here. So are you kind of planning on some of that after you graduate?
Mm-hmm. So actually, I've been looking to probably do some photography, some photojournalism for the newspapers around Iowa or even the Midwest. I'm really interested in photojournalism. That's kind of my big interest, and I actually know quite a few people in the journalism industry, so I'm hoping to use some of those contacts to be able to branch out and learn more about that.
Well, thank you again for joining me to talk more about the Communique, and we'll have to do this again sometime.
Definitely.
It was really interesting. I did not know a lot of those details. For those of you at home, thanks for listening to Kirkwood's Club Corner, where we'll continue to dive deeper into clubs and organizations on Kirkwood's campus. Once again, I'm your host, Danielle, and we'll see you next time.